All righty, we are here. What's going on, Troy?
Not a whole lot. I'm still trying to get things set up myself.
I'll tell you what. I started 10 minutes ago.
Did you?
It never fails. It's always, I leave everything set up, but it's just not plugged in.
Right.
I don't want people hearing what's going on in my office on a day to day because of what we talk about or whatnot.
Yep.
And I definitely don't want people watching video of what's going on in here without me having knowledge of it. So
I don't blame you.
I unplug the camera and I unplug the microphone every night.
Yeah.
Once the live's done, they're done.
Yeah. But yeah, I was getting in there. And I had to set the computer up and get that done. And then I had to find you on the phone because I've used the phone to chat through. And
right. I sent Mike a message seeing if he might want to join us tonight, but I haven't heard back from him.
Yeah. But
I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah.
I don't know if Greg's going to join us or not. I did say something about it, I believe, but I'm not positive on that.
Yeah, Greg, he's not going to be able to come up. He has pneumonia, and
okay,
yeah, he sent a message to me probably about 45 minutes ago.
Okay, he might have me too. I don't know. I don't check my phone very often.
Yeah, he did. He sent it to both of us. So
I know Brett sent me Peter King's phone number, and I haven't even contacted him. I got it, and I'm just like, okay, well, great. I'm glad you sent it, but
yeah,
I could write it down, put him in as a contact, and say, hey, Pete, want to join in? I don't know.
Yeah,
but anybody can. I don't care who they are.
Oh yeah.
So, how's your weather, Ben?
Well, most of the snow melted off today. We got about 25 and 6 inches yesterday morning. And,
okay.
But it's getting colder.
Right. And, yeah, last month weekend, I think it was like Sunday.
Right.
It was Sunday. We got hit with like 4 inches, maybe.
Yeah.
And I told Leah, I says, get a hold of the plow guy. I don't have his number anymore because my phone broke and I had to buy a different phone. Right. I don't have his phone number anymore. I told her, I said, get a hold of the plow guy. Ask him if he can please come plow the driveway.
Right.
It's not that I can't get out with the truck, but the car.
Right.
I was slipping and sliding, just pulling the car in and out of the parking spot, trying to get it up onto the road to clear out of the way so he could plow the area where the car was.
Right.
And that was after he plowed part of it. And I was like, yeah, our car sits too low to the ground. It's not a Corvette, but it's not much higher.
Well, since I got my truck back, it's been parked down there in front of the garage and it had that little hill. And then I came down with a sinus infection Monday, and when it hits with the chronic vertigo, I finally got it. I left the house today for the first time, and actually drove for the first time in 8 months today down to town. Back.
Right. I know we had one local road that I had Leah in my truck with me, which is weird because I don't drive the truck a whole lot, even though I got it back.
Right.
It cost a fortune in gas compared to the car.
Oh, yeah.
But I had to take the truck to Cortland, and I had to fill it up with gas. So I got her in the truck with me, and we were going up one of our side roads, the shortest way to get to Cortland.
Right.
And as we're going up this hill, I said to Leah, I says, oh, man, look at those tractor trailer coming down the hill towards us.
Yeah.
He had his four-ways on, and he was probably doing about 5 miles an hour.
Right.
Not one tire was turning on his truck.
That's.
I was like,
yeah,
I think he's sliding down the hill. And she's like, yes, yeah, he is. Well, after we got past him with no issue, he wasn't like in our lane or anything.
Right.
But after we got past him, then my truck said, okay, well, now you're in his slide zone.
Right.
And I had to go on the 4-wheel drive low, and I had to stay there for like the next 2 roads.
Right.
Because of all of his tracks. It turned everything right to like instant slush.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, these roads aren't cold enough to be able to hold the snow.
Yeah.
But that road is covered with trees, so it never sees the sun.
That makes a difference. Yeah. That's basically where all the snow that's here left is under the trees.
Yeah, well, that made a difference. And then going back through the other day after that, it was a couple days later. I said, well, I'm going to leave that road alone until I get a chance to get in there and like put some salt and cinder down. Yeah. So I took the other main road that leads out of our town, not the main road that we live on, but the next one over. And I took that one, and everywhere there was a farmer's field, there was a snowdrift.
Yeah.
I started out at 55 miles an hour, and I ended up finishing out the road at about 40 going, yeah, I don't know where the next drift's going to be. But I had a couple of them at pretty high speed, and I was like, "Yeah, don't do that anymore."
Right.
And that was with the car. So with the car is even different. My truck would have just kept fast. A drift ain't nothing.
Yeah. Well, my truck was they got them mud tires on it. The 12.5 inches wide on that short wheelbase. You don't want it on. You don't want it on wet roads. No.
Oh. No. Mine's good. Mine's good on the snow.
Yeah.
But wet, slushy snow, even with long wheelbase and narrow tires,
right?
It's not that good. If it was mud, it would drive through it no problem at all.
Yeah, that's what But even if I get on snow, them tires pack up really quick.
Yep. And if it's slush, they fill up and it don't come back out.
Right.
Especially if your tires are warm, it holds right onto it.
Yeah, let me tell you, I had my dietitian came Monday, and she's here for about an hour, and she went to leave. Well, she left, and about 10 minutes later, she knocks on the door and comes walking on in because I'm on one side of the house, the door's on the front side.
Right.
She said, "All right, well, I'm back. I just had to tell you that I run into the ditch in front of your house." I said, "Why'd you do that?" Green grass, the gravel driveway and stuff like that. She missed the gravel driveway by about 2 car widths wide, and she went straight between the 2 ditches out to trying to go out. And that's a 3-foot ditch.
Yeah. So did you go out and pull her out?
No, I didn't have my truck back yet, but the FedEx guy, he drove by and seen her sitting in the car, so he turned around and drove back and pulled her back up into my yard. And
cool.
I can't see how people are that scatterbrained whenever you drive off of a gravel driveway into the grass.
Well, a lot of people don't remember how to drive in the wintertime.
Well, it wasn't wintertime. It was dry. Well, it was a little wet, but you could see the gravel. There's no snow on the ground or nothing.
Right. She still drove off?
She drove off right through the grass and right into the ditch. Her front bumper was laying in the road.
Wow.
And
yeah, I don't know. I see a lot of people do stupid things, Last winter I had my truck. Or no, the winter before last. Yeah, the winter before last, I had my truck. Last winter I didn't. Winter before last, I had my truck, and I was driving up that road I was just talking about, where it's all covered in trees and stuff. And there was a FedEx truck parked sideways into the ditch.
Yeah.
And I stopped, and I was like, "What were you doing?" He says, "Well, I was turning around. I thought this was a driveway." And I was like, "Dude, you missed that driveway by almost 100 yards."
Right, yeah.
I mean, that driveway up the road, you can see it. It's got orange cones on each side of it.
Yeah.
And he backed right down into the ditch. And I was like, I'll go back to my house. I'll get my tow strap. I'll see if I can pull you out, but I can't go give you no guarantees.
Yeah.
And I just got done talking to him. And before I got back in my truck, there was a farm tractor coming down the road. So I stopped him and I said, "Hey, I'm going to go back to my house and get my tow strap. But I don't know if my truck's got what it needs to get this guy out of here."
Right.
But I'm kind of, "Hi, Charlene. How you doing?"
"Hey, Charlene."
But I don't know if my truck has got what it's going to take to pull it out. But I think your tractor does. But my thought is that no matter which way we pull them, if we pull them uphill or downhill, we stand a really good chance of tipping this truck over, getting it up out of that ditch.
Right.
So between the two of us, we should be able to hold him upright and pull him out of the ditch. And the guy says, all right, I'll hang tight. So I came back home. I got my tow straps. And I went back up, and I hooked the front one to the tractor, and then I hooked the back one to my truck. But the back one on my truck, I hooked to the back of his box on the grab handle.
Right.
Because my thinking was, when we're pulling him up out of the road, as we're pulling him up out of the road, he's going to be coming out of the road, and he's going to be still down in that ditch, and then the truck's just going to lay on its side. So I was using my truck to hold him up by the grab handle, not the strongest part of the truck by any means.
Yeah. But
we did get him up out of there. Hey, Charlene, I know it's not you, but hey, it's still all Grady.
That's right.
I had somebody say to me the other day, don't you ever change your clothes? And I was like, yeah, I always change my clothes every day. Why? Well, you had the same shirt on yesterday. And I said, no, you don't understand. When Tim from Ridge Life hooked me up with some shirts, I didn't just get one or two.
Yeah.
I ended up with like half a dozen of them.
Right.
Half of them belong in Leah's drawer, but she puts them all in mine. So, if I reach in and grab a shirt, I put on whatever I grab. I don't care what it says.
Right. But that's like when I find something I like, it's comfortable, I'll get 2 or 3 of them.
And I've got one that I really, really like that I got from TriStar Trading. And I was going to order more than one, but I couldn't afford to. The prices were way too high. Yeah. But it's the Alligator Alcatraz 2025 shirt.
Oh, I got one. I got one of those.
They are a nice shirt. I don't care. But it's one of them. I pick my day of what day do I want to wear this, because it's cold now. I'm like you. You got flannel on. I got a flannel on.
Yeah. Well, I was going to wear it yesterday because my high school bunch that I graduated with, they all went to the Mexican restaurant last night to eat, and I was going to wear it up there, but then after all that snow, I wasn't going to go over there, try to go through it.
Right.
I figured I'd been fitting to walk in the Mexican restaurant with that on. So
the Alligator Alcatraz one, I've worn to Walmart quite a few times.
Yeah.
Because even with a flannel shirt on, you can see exactly what it says, and the colors are super bright, and it's a black shirt, so everything stands out better on black, I think.
Yeah.
Except for it's all Grady. If they put that on black, you wouldn't be able to read it.
Yeah.
Or my logo.
Yeah. The one
my logo on black would be terrible.
Yeah. It's all color, and I think it's a gray shirt, so it pops. With all the greens and golds and reds and
I like that shirt. When I got it, I looked at it when it first came in, and I looked at that and going, I should have ordered more of them, but what was it, $35 a shirt or something like that? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
They're making a killing on that shirt. That shirt cost about 10 cents to print.
Yeah.
I have a screen print. I know how much it costs to set it up and do it. It's like 10 cents a print.
Right.
Even full color like that. It takes more time to do the different screens and get it set up for your resignation lines or whatever, so that everything is covering the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
But once it's set up, you can run them out by the thousands at 10 cents a piece.
Oh yeah.
And they're probably paying $10 or less per shirt and selling them for $35. Right. You're making a $20 profit on that shirt easy all day long.
Oh yeah.
Plus I had to pay the shipping and handling.
Yeah. Oh, it's a gimmick.
Yeah. Well, my thing is that, like the shirts that I print, like I did for Gary Skews over there at Junk to Gems and stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't do screen print on those. I use what's called sublimation printing. So it actually dyes the thread of the shirt rather than tries to put ink on top of it.
Right.
They will never fade. They'll never crack. And the shirt the print will last as long as the shirt does.
Yep.
You know, and that's why I chose that way, and that's why my screen printing press sits down in the basement unused.
Right.
I've got all that stuff. I actually tried getting Wiley and Jen from our mountain home to come up here with their truck and trailer and just load it all up and take it home for their daughter.
Right.
And build her a building and let her open up a screen printing shop down there, because I think she'd do really well with it.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a good little side hustle.
Yeah, and I wasn't even going to charge them for it.
Yeah.
You know, I got thousands of dollars wrapped up in that stuff. I was just going to say, here, take it home and get it out of my house.
Yeah. My aunt and uncle made their first million on a embroidery machine, doing hats and shirts and jackets and everything. And
I got one of those I paid $15,000 for, and I probably made $200 on.
Yep. But
I don't remember how to use it now. I'd have to go back to school for it.
All right. But they set up on their back porch and ran it there. They, like I said, they made their first million. They're down there in Cumberland Gap, Tennessee. So they done all the colleges stuff and all the schools and businesses and stuff. So,
well, see, I don't promote it.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, I would have to go back to school for it. I did my own print shop polo shirts with it. I did a bunch of class reunion hats with it.
Yep.
I did some hats for our local school, but I did them at a really large discount because they really didn't want hats for the school.
Yeah.
When I showed it to them, they were like, yeah, okay, that's a pretty nice hat. What will you charge us? And I was like, well, I want to do it to support the school too. So my price to you is going to be $7 a hat.
Right.
Including the price of the hat. And they were selling them for $25 a hat.
Right.
And it was print on demand. So
yeah,
if they got an order for a hat, I printed the hat. If they didn't get an order for a hat, I didn't print the hat, but they had to pay for the shipping or whatever. Because, you know, for me, I got to ship that stuff. Where I'm located at, everything I do, I got to ship it.
Yeah.
And I'm the kind of guy that, like, when I did all those coffee mugs for Mike, I was mad because he had 7 out of the 30, I think it was 36 coffee cups. 7 out of 36 were broken.
Right.
And I was like, that sucks, because I get these things shipped to me from they come from China to a warehouse, and then from that warehouse to me, and I've never received a broken mug. But to go from here to Arkansas, he ended up with 7 broken mugs, and it was shipped by the same freaking company.
Yeah.
I was like, are you serious? I get these things from China and they're never broken.
Yeah.
So I told Mike, I says, from now on, here's the way we'll do it. You know, here's your price per mug shipped.
Right.
If somebody wants to buy one, you charge them, and then you pay me to ship it, and I will print it, and I will ship it from here, because it just turned out to be such a large loss on his end.
Right.
You know, I don't know if he's doing anything with merch anymore. I haven't heard anything about that.
I don't either.
I know Gary isn't. Gary's not doing much for a whole lot of things, because he's going through, you know, his VA and whatnot.
Right. Yeah.
And he's got plans on not staying where he's at, which I understand. I'm not sure I'd want to stay there either.
Right. Yeah. But I go in for surgery on the 10th to get all my redo my throat like they did back in January. But I got to go up Monday so they can put IVs in it, because I got to be really hydrated and stuff. So
I'll be honest with you. I have been lucky this year that I haven't been sick.
Right.
Hi, Arlene. How you doing? My mom's caretaker. She's my age, 61.
Right.
Actually, her birthday is almost the same as mine, and she's got the flu right now, so she's a whole week without being able to help my mom. Right. And I told my mom, I says, well, anything you need help with, I'd be willing to come over and help you out with. And she says, well, really, I just need help getting in and out of the shower. And I was like, yeah, that ain't going to be me.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom. Call Dale down from Syracuse, my big brother. He might help you.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, mine comes in 3 days a week. She's here for about 3 hours from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Usually, sometimes depends on what's going on. But I think she plans on she's gonna be staying with me the night of the 10th, but because they want somebody here with me all the time. So.
All right. I actually just reached out. I'm going to be a independent driver for Walmart.
Well, there you go.
For Spark.
Right. That'd be good.
It took a lot. It took a lot to get there. When I first filled out all the paperwork and everything else and whatnot on my phone, they said, all right, well, we don't have any open positions. And I was like, all right, well, let me know when you do, whatever. It doesn't matter. And then a couple days later, they reached out and said, well, in order for you to work for us, we need a way to pay you. So I put in my personal bank account information, and it came back as unverifiable. And I was like, all right. So I put in the seed business bank account information, and it came back as unverifiable. And I was like, all right, well, I got one more account with a credit union. So I put that information in. It came back as unverifiable. And it says, well, if you use our one pay, you can get paid 10 minutes after you get done doing the job, and you can go to any Walmart ATM machine and draw your money out for free.
Right.
So today we were at Walmart. You know what I found out? Walmart doesn't have ATM machines anywhere.
Well, they do here. All of them's got them here.
Ours doesn't.
Well, even the one in Bluefield, it's even got a branch banking system inside the store.
I can go to the Walmart. I'm going this way to go to the Walmart that I'm hired for now.
Mm-hmm.
And after working for them for a week, then I can go to the Walmart going this way.
Oh, okay.
That one has the ATM machine, but the one going this way, no ATM machine. You can't even fill up your water jugs there.
Really?
It's a big Walmart.
Well,
but you can't even fill up your water jugs. The other one's a super center. So I'm thinking, well, I'll work all weekend long at this one local, and then I'll do all week long over at that other one.
Yeah.
Because apparently, from what I was watching today, we were at a restaurant eating just down the road from there, and they said you got to be within a mile from Walmart in order to accept any loads, but you can't be within 150 feet of where you picked the load up from. So we're sitting in this diner, and I was like, all right, well, we are right now within a mile.
Right.
So I opened up the app, and it says, you want to start running Spark now? And I was like, no. I just want to see what the quantity of loads are that they ship out.
Yeah.
And most of the time it's like Monday through Friday, the best hours are 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Right.
And then they kind of die off after the rest of the day, but they keep going to like 7.
Yeah.
Saturdays and Sundays are higher than all the rest of the week between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. Right. And it stays that way all day long. And I was like, okay, well, that just answered my question.
Mm-hmm.
Locally, I'm only going to do it for the weekends.
There you go.
And then after they accept me doing it over here for the weekends and then tell me I can transfer to the other store, I'll do that Monday through Friday where I can actually get paid for what I did during the weekend,
Yeah, there you go.
That way, if I want to get paid every day, I can.
Yeah.
But, and I know my area real close, but I don't know that area so much. But like I told Leah, they put it right on your phone. This is where you're going. And my car has got a map feature on it. I can just click on map, and it'll light up every road name and everything in that area. And well, between the two of them, I can figure out where I'm going.
Oh, yeah.
Before doing all that, I did do it for Walmart.
Right.
I don't remember what their name was, but I signed up, or not Walmart, Amazon.
Right.
I signed up for Amazon doing it as an independent driver, and they had me go through hoops and all this stuff to fill out all the paperwork. And when I got out on this, yeah, we don't have anything in your area.
Yeah.
I was like, well, then why did you make me jump through all the hoops?
Exactly.
I was stupid. But I kind of felt that way with Walmart. Why'd you make me jump through all these hoops? And then I went through more hoops and more hoops and more hoops. Yeah. And I was like, okay, but now I'm an Amazon Spark driver. But I'm not doing it yet. I'm waiting.
Right.
I've done shopping by the month for my mom.
Right.
And she's got a cart that I bought her that costs like $90. And it doesn't hold all of her month-long groceries into it. And now that she's got the caretaker, I take the caretaker grocery shopping for my mom.
Right.
And she does her shopping at the same time. And I'll go up and I'll get my mom's cart or whatever. She came down with this really big collapsible wagon. And it pretty much could have held everything. But I was like, well, I'll put mom's in her cart. And then you put yours in this cart. And we'll just, shuffle back and forth or whatever.
Right.
And when we got up there, I was like, okay, well, that's the first thing I decided to do. I bought a really big collapsible wagon.
There you
go. It's called the Overmont. It actually has terrain wheels on it.
Yeah.
And it'll haul up to 440 pounds.
I need one of those.
And it folds up really, really small. It's like a 12 by 12 case by the time it folds up.
Right.
With a handle on top to carry it by. Right. And it weighs 41 pounds. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I want. Yeah. So when we got back from Walmart today, I cleaned out the whole back of my car, got it all set up because they say you could be picking up to 3 different place orders at a time.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, well, the trunk will be one, the back seat will be one, and the front seat will be another one. Put the smallest one in the front. Mm-hmm. That way you can divide them all up evenly and not confuse whose stuff is what. Right. But I carry a Sharpie marker in my pocket all the time too.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to just go, okay, just draw one line on this order, draw 2 lines on the next one, and draw 3 lines on the last one. So if you're looking at the bag, you know that you got the right order.
Right.
But
yeah, I need to get one here. That way it'll be easier for me to take things from the house down to the basement into the garage and
yeah, the one that I got was with taxes and everything was $75.75.
Yeah.
But it folds up really, really slick. The wheels on it look like they're probably about 2.5 to 3 inches wide.
Yeah.
They say they roll over packed sand, gravel, light snow, and ice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much what I want. I don't want the one with the narrow wheels.
Right. Well, that's what I need.
They dig into everything.
Yeah. But I need one kind of one more like Mike's, but with wider tires and where I can hook it up to the back of the tractor.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have. Yeah, this one's not going to. I don't know. It might be able to work out as something like that.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, he uses a tow rope.
Yeah, I can make something modified and make a bracket for it.
That's a gorilla cart that he's using.
Yeah.
Yeah. This thing probably holds. The one that I got is, I think it's a 440 pound capacity.
Right.
It says, I think 30 inches deep, 24 inches wide, I believe, and 41 inches long.
Yeah. Well, I got a rubber. Well, it's not Rubbermaid, but it's like a Rubbermaid. It's a 50-gallon feed trough. That I thought about just getting the wheels and making a wagon out of it. Be cheaper for me because I got everything to do it except the wheels.
All right. Yeah, if you need wheels, you got a Harbor Freight in the area?
I do, but I can't drive that far. It's all the way up in Bluefield, and that's about an hour away. But I can get it off Amazon.
I was gonna say, well, or you can do Harbor Freight online. They sell pneumatic wheels that fit on. I don't remember the diameter of the shaft, but you can buy that from like good Lord, where did they get that? McMaster Car.
Yeah. Well, see, I already got Yeah,
McMaster car. I bought pillow bearings. I bought the pneumatic wheels, and I also bought the pieces that slide onto the shaft, so the wheels can't get all the way up to the bearing or whatever, and they can't fall off the outside of the cart. Yeah. The collars.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I already got all of that, but the wheels I got, they're only, well, they're like the hand dolly wheels, and they're just too narrow. If
yeah, so the hard rubber.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, the ones that they have a Harbor Freight are pneumatic, so they add a little bit of bounce to them.
Yeah,
and they're not real wide, but they're, I don't know, a good 4 inches wide, and maybe, I don't know, 8 inches in diameter or something like that.
Right.
They're good wheels.
Yeah. Well, even the axles I got, I think they're 3/4 inch axles. What a lawnmower tire would work perfectly. Front tire.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
And a good friend of mine up the road, he's got a bunch of junk lawnmowers because he works on lawnmowers. So.
All you need is just an axle and a lawnmower tire.
Yeah, well, I got the axles. I got 2 axles with the collars and everything.
Well, if you could get it set up with the front axle to be able to turn.
Oh, that ain't no problem. I can just make a pivot point.
Yeah, pivot points are easy.
Yeah, I just run one long rod of 1x1, run the axle through it, and put the collars where they won't rub up against it, and put the bolt down through on the other, or weld a piece onto it.
Just slide a washer onto it, stop it from rubbing on the bolt.
Yeah.
Now that'd be easy.
That's nothing hard.
I actually played around a lot with Granger, McMaster car, and I think it was Greenhouses or Us, but I'm not positive about that. And was building these vegetable stands where you could hook them up to your lawnmower and drive them around to the front yard where you wanted them.
Yeah.
And I was welding stakes onto welding pointed stakes onto the pieces that go down to hold it flat. When you unhook it from the lawnmower, you could put it flat. Yeah. And then hit it with the maul and drive it down into the ground so the wind couldn't move it around and stuff or flip it over. I did all that kind of stuff back when I was younger.
Yeah. Well, I actually sold quite a few. Yeah. Well, last month I did finally break down and got me a MIG, TIG, and arc welder, and I just got to get the gas for the MIG and TIG. So
okay. Okay. I've got a TIG welder, or just straight up TIG welder.
Right.
And then I've got a MIG welder that's a gasless welder. And then where I used to live, I have got a huge wire or regular stick welder.
Yeah.
This thing is made by Hobart, and it's about the size of a dining room table.
Yeah, Hobart's good. I'd like to find one of the old Lincoln welders. I should be able to find one around here. These old farmers and stuff, they all had them. So,
hey, Melvin, Donnie, how we doing tonight?
Hey, how y'all?
Yeah, when I bought that big welder, it was on a cart, and I said to the guy, I was like, all right, well, if we bring this up on my trailer and we offload it off of the cart, I mean, this guy had arms on him. He was like this. He was freaking huge. We wouldn't have got it onto the trailer without him.
Right.
And when we got it up onto the trailer, I was like, all right, what do you want for the cart that it sits on? Because there ain't no way I'm going to move this welder without using an engine lift to get it around.
Right.
And he's like, no, that's not for sale. No, that's not for sale. Well, just as we finished putting it onto my trailer and strapping it down, his wife came out and she says, what do you mean it's not for sale? Mm-hmm. You sell garden seeds, don't you? And I was like, yeah. And she says, well, this is what I want.
Yeah, there you go.
I traded $15 worth of garden seeds for that welding cart.
Really? You can't beat that.
And it still sits on it today. Yeah. I had to weld a new handle to it because the handle broke off when we went to take it off the trailer. Right. That welder is hard. That welder is heavy.
Right.
You pretty much either need somebody with really big ass arms or you need a tow truck to move that thing around.
Well, that's right. On our service truck, we had one of the Hobarts, and we actually welded it to the top box of the service truck.
All right.
We had that there. Well, no, that one had the built-in generator on it. So, and then on the other side was a big compressor, and then they had a crane on top because we had all that heavy equipment. We had to have all that stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're on a service truck, you got to have the air compressor so you can run a plasma cutter.
Yep. And
that's a given.
Yep. And
I got one of those too. It still sits brand new in a box in my shop.
Yeah. Well, I need to get me a little hand cart, little dolly thing, because I actually I got my extra battery for my generator, even though they don't weigh that much. With me trying to get around and walk and everything, it'd be easier if I just get the little dolly and put on it. And,
batteries for the generator,
or the little solar generator.
Oh, okay.
That is there. That is the solar generator is on top, and then the extra battery is on the bottom, and there's
right.
Because I can put that on the cart and the solar panels too. So,
all right. I'm going to get into my solar generator here in a little bit. Yeah, we did get some snow, Melvin, Donnie. I'm going to say we're probably in the neighborhood of about 4.5 inches, maybe 4 inches. It's starting to melt actually. Today was actually a really nice day. It got up to about 36 degrees. Right now we're down to 31. So it did start to melt. But Ryan Hall, y'all, is out there, and he's saying, "Oh no, you're in for deep freeze, and it's going to be all the way down to Arkansas."
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, we're at 33 now, and it got up to about 36 today here too. But
yeah, and it's going to be warm again tomorrow. I think tomorrow's only supposed to be like 32, maybe.
Yeah.
My problem really isn't the temperature, because I've got panels of wood. Actually, I got one right here behind me.
Yeah.
I got a panel of wood that I need to get cut so I can put it onto my laser.
Yeah.
And make some more of the back pieces to those crosses I was doing, right?
Right. Yeah. I like
But
those.
I can't walk out the door right here and do it because the wind is so freaking hard.
Right.
It's not the temperature, it's the wind.
Yeah. Well, he's usually pretty accurate where I'm at. Of course, he's just right straight across from me, one state over.
Yeah, he's in Kentucky.
Yeah, he's in Pikeville.
Yep. Yeah, I like Ryan Hall. He's the most accurate meteorologist on all of the channels. He actually, it's not just YouTube; it's cable TV and all of them. He's the most accurate. But I'm kind of leaning towards, and I'm kind of hoping I got one of those too. Except for mine goes up to 36.
Yeah.
I got the new Ryan 2.0.
Well, I did too. It actually came in the other day. So I got the new yesterday.
I got the new Yolometer 3.2.0. It's 36 inches deep.
Yeah.
I hope we never see 36 inches deep again. We have.
Yeah, I got the mid-size one, but it's got the QR code on the back of it. So you can take a picture and you can scan that and you can send the picture right to him. Yeah,
well, I got news for him. If it's 29 inches to the top of that meter, I'm not going to run around in that deep-ass snow to take a picture of the backside to figure out how I'm going to ship it to him. I'm just going to send to Ryan Hall y'all at X.
Yeah.
He'll get it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Mine had that QR code on it when I first got it too, and now he's saying, "Oh, the 2.0's got a QR code." Well, I think the one I got is a 2.0, but this was like 2-3 years ago.
That's the one it had. It had the site. You click on it and it would go straight to his site.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or his YouTube channel.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that's the one I got is whatever. But it's 36 inches tall, and I'm like, if it's ever 28 inches tall, I'm not running around to the backside to take a picture or nothing. I know where you live.
Yeah, we ain't got 30 inches of snow since the last time we did. I tried to sneak in Christmas Eve when I was in the Navy. We just got back from Bosnia, so it had to be 95. And I left Norfolk, Virginia. I had 1.5 feet of snow in Appomattox, Virginia, and it kept getting worse. And so by the time I got here, they had all the interstates, everything locked down, and I had to be back down there by the day after Christmas, and because I was supposed to go on leave at that time, and they said if I wasn't back, I wasn't going to get my 30-day leave.
Really?
Yeah.
See, when I was down at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, we got shipped out for a holiday week. I think it was New Year's Christmas and New Year's. They shipped us out for a holiday week.
Yeah.
And it was like January 2nd. New York got pounded.
Right.
And they shut down Syracuse Airport. Well, that was the only airport I could ship out of.
Right.
And I called my CEO and I was like, "Sir, I can't come back." He's like, "Why not?" And I said, "Well, the airport's shut down." And he's like, "Well, can't you take a train?" Well, yeah, if I fly to New York City from that airport.
Yeah.
Well, what about a bus? Well, if the airport's not running, the buses aren't running.
Right.
And he's like, "Well, how long is it going to take you?" And I says, "I don't know. I'm on hold until they tell me what's going on." And it was 3 days. It was 3 days after I was supposed to be back that I finally went back.
Yeah.
Because they just wouldn't let us leave the area. They were like, "Yep, no." The airplane wings were freezing up on the runway.
Yeah.
I mean, when I come home with a brand new pair of alligator cowboy boots, and I destroyed them stepping off the plane.
Oh, I'm sure.
The last step coming down, that boot that I was using to step on that last step wasn't holding onto the slippery step, and I come down with the back heel of the other one and caught the edge of the step, and it tore the back of the boot right off.
Right. Well, shorthanded, what part of eastern Kentucky are you from? I'm about 4.5 hours away from Harlan County. I'm down in the southeastern part, right on the state line, not far from Bluefield, West Virginia, or Princeton. Well, I guess I'm halfway between Bluefield, West Virginia, and Blacksburg, Virginia.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah,
that's about right.
Yeah, because it's about 30 miles each way. So.
Now we weren't long going out of Virginia before we got to your house.
Okay. Well, I know Hazard well. I used to deliver mining parts all around Hazard and Harlan, Pikeville, and all that.
Well, there you go. They're close to Hazard.
Yeah. My teenage years, I used to go up that way and get things in a little clear mason jar, a little clear liquid.
That's funny. That's not the Hazard I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the Dukes of Hazzard.
That was Hazard, Georgia.
Yeah. Although it was never filmed there.
No. Well, the first one was. The very first episode was.
Was it?
Yeah. It was like the intro, it was like a hour long. Hey, Lauren and Joel.
Hey, Lauren and Joel. How we doing?
How you doing, sis? Great video today. It took me a few times to get through it, but I loved it. Thank you for that.
I have not seen the notification out of it, but I will watch for it.
Yeah.
I still haven't gone through all of them. You know, I've been watching an awful lot of Coffee with the Crockers.
Right.
With Jason and Danielle and the new baby. And it's just been, I don't know why, but I get a notification of every one of their videos before I do anybody else's now.
Right. Lauren, I just realized why nobody's been calling me the last couple of days. I forgot to pay my monthly phone service bill. Go figure. I'll do that when I get off here.
Yeah, I was actually watching. Yeah, that's still on. O'Rourke's Littlefield. Yeah. I was just watching that one just before I started this live, And
they put out.
I'll tell you, I was watching them go through what they were going through in the garage and everything like that.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of a comment I made many years ago. The bigger the place you get, the more shit you collect. And everybody should pretend they have to move every 3 years and go through it.
Yeah.
I've been here we got this in 1919 or 2019. So we've been here 6 years now.
Yeah.
I know if I started going through drawers and boxes and totes and stuff like that, I could probably fill another roll-off dumpster.
Well, you know how big my place is.
Yeah.
I've still got 2 of the large U-Haul truckloads of stuff in storage, and probably 1.5 of the small U-Hauls down at the fish camp. It all has to come up here.
Yeah, but see, I only seen your upstairs. You got a whole basement under that, plus you got a garage.
Yeah.
You had the camper probably collecting stuff.
Yeah, and just my woodworking stuff, all my cabinetry stuff will fill that garage up, and that's not including all the lumber and stuff.
Yeah, I've already taken Lauren and Joe. I've already taken a whole roll-off dumpster off this property. And I'm going to say probably 85% of that dumpster was stuff that we owned that we threw away.
Yeah.
And I've got right now, I think it's 6 sheets of hard maple 3/4 inch cabinet grade plywood.
Right.
Sitting in my enclosed utility trailer next to the garage. And I decided that I need to clean the garage out more before I can start really doing much. But this is for an island. And that island's going to be so big, I'm going to build it in place anyway. So
yeah,
I'm going to cut everything for that island right there in place inside that trailer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, I mean, the island's going to be 45 inches wide by 7 feet long. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to have to take those sheets, carry a 4x8 sheet into my shop, lay it down flat, make the cutouts out of it, and then carry it into the house and then do the assembly, because there's no way I'm going to fit that through a door and bring it in as one piece anyway.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'll just cut each piece down inside of the trailer. I bought a brand new track saw for it, so I can do that. And I actually bought a piece of 2-inch pink insulation rigid board, so that I don't have to worry about cutting one sheet into the next, whatever.
Right.
I don't care about the rigid board. It cost me half the price of what one of these sheets did, but I actually didn't even know I was buying maple hardwood paneling or plywood. I thought I was buying what they call pro panels,
right?
Which were like $63 each. So I was like, 6 sheets, $63. That's about $400 spent. I get the register, $577 and some change, please. Right. I looked at that receipt and I said, "Oh, it is maple. Yeah. It's going to get painted anyway, you know."
Yeah.
I'm not taking them back.
Yeah,
I probably should, but I'm not.
Yeah, Donnie and Melville. David looked up. He's right at 5 hours to my front door from their house.
Yeah. I've gotten to the point now where I don't do a lot with the print shop. I'd like to do more with it. But the problem is you either got to use it all the time, or you have to do a whole lot of maintenance to it to be able to use it all the time.
Right.
And when Gary's order came in, I had another order just before it that was huge for t-shirts. It was like 500 t-shirts for a local band.
Right.
And I was like, okay, well, this printer is not acting the way I want it to. So I went out and I spent $700 on another printer, exact same thing, and set it up as brand new. And it bled the ink out and did what I needed to do to get it all set up. But I was still doing the maintenance on the old one while I was getting a new one set up, because I wasn't going to give up on it.
Yeah.
And it turned out that the new one didn't get used to do either order, because it had one print head that kept getting locked up. And I'm like, are you serious? This is a brand new freaking printer. And it was an expensive printer.
Yeah.
So I finally got that one going. When I did my own shirt, I did it on that printer. but now they've both been sitting idle since the eclipse, pretty much. And I'm like, boy, if somebody puts in an order now, I got my work cut out, putting them things back into use again.
Right.
If I don't do it, they're worthless. And if I do it, then that just means I'm going to be wasting a lot of ink from here on out because they can't sit idle. Once you get them set up, you got to keep using them.
Right.
The ink dries out, basically.
Yeah, I was going to say that'd be a pain in the rear to clean out.
Well, it's the same thing with these guys that have the on-demand where you put the T-shirt into the machine, right, and it puts the sizing on the material or whatever, and then it prints the colors on, and then they take it off for that one. They have to put it in the heat press to set the ink, and then the shirt's ready to go. Direct material printing, they call it.
Yeah.
And when you're using those, if you let them sit idle for any length of time, like even 3 days, the maintenance on that is expensive as crap.
Yeah. Oh, Lauren's killing me now. She's making upside down pizza.
Why would you make an upside down pizza?
Oh, they are so good. But
I would say if you're going to make an upside down pizza, you should make it a 2-sided pizza and call it what it is that it's not a panini, it's a they make 2 pizzas, they cut it into sections, and they heat everything up in the center of it.
Oh yeah.
Calzone.
Calzone, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Calzone. Then it doesn't matter if it's right side up or upside down.
That's right, yeah.
I've never even looked at an upside down pizza.
Oh, they're awesome.
Never even heard of it, actually.
Yeah.
Although I've done upside down pineapple cakes, so I don't know.
Yeah. Which is my favorite cake. So.
Yeah, throw some nice whipped cream topping on that, and you're ready to rock and roll.
I actually finally broke down on Black Friday and bought me an electric heater to put in the garage. One of them ceiling mounts. I just got to find somebody that will put it up and run me a 40 amp wire to it. And
yeah, but are you ready to bring that onto your electric bill?
Yeah, I think this month. Well, see, they're on 2 different meters.
Okay.
So the house this month it ran like 130, and then the garage was 23. So, and no more than I'd be using it. It's not like it'd be running all the time.
That's what I say about my garage too. I actually have a garage heater, an electric one.
Yeah.
And it still sits in a box because I don't dare plug it in.
Right.
I've got a brand new it's a Craftsman, which I had to reach out and find because Lowe's sold it, but they were totally sold out of it. But they had the DeWalt one, which is a hell of a lot more expensive and nowhere near as good.
Yeah.
So I had to reach out and buy the Craftsman one and have it delivered to me.
Yeah.
It runs on propane.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really, really tiny salamander heater.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine uses it in his 2-bay garage, and it works great. And I'm like, well, I pretty much have like a 2.5-bay garage for my wood shop, but my garage is insulated really well. His isn't insulated so well.
Yeah.
And so I can go out and I can fire that up, let it run for maybe an hour on low. Not even on high, on low. He runs his on high to get the garage warmed up and then puts it down on low and then finally shuts it off when he gets tired of listening to it.
Yeah.
And he runs through 20-pound propane tank every 3 or 4 days doing that.
Yeah.
I've been on the same 20-pound propane tank now for 6 days, I think, and I still got gas in the tank. I don't know how much, but I still got gas.
Yeah.
But I also have 4 brand new 60-pound propane tanks sitting on my porch.
Yeah.
That are full. So I can just grab one of those and drag it out and hook it up to it too. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have an issue with this one.
Yeah. Well, see where they turned that garage into an apartment at one time, so the entire thing is insulated, including the garage doors. So it don't take much to heat that thing. So
all right. I actually hired my son and a friend of his to go in and insulate my garage.
yeah,
They didn't do a great job, but what they did really made a difference. Oh my God. Right. There's a pellet stove out there, and my employee gave it to me, and he says all you got to do is when you're ready to redo it, plug it back in, turn it all the way up on high, and hit the reset button.
Right.
I hit the reset button. I hit the reset button. I hit the reset button. Now the wood pot is full of wood. It's not igniting.
Right.
And I was like, okay, well, I went on the internet and it said, well, pour a shot glass of rubbing alcohol into the burn pot over those wood pellets.
Yeah.
And just light it with a lighter. And as they burn down, it'll keep sending more pellets and keep it going.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, until it gets to the temperature and shuts back down again. And then it won't reignite,
Yeah.
But the problem is this pellet stove doesn't have access to the burn pot, so you can't pour the alcohol into it. It's a glass window and it's solid and there's no excess.
Right.
I mean, you could probably pull out the ash drawer and reach up in behind it and pour it in, and then reach up over and light it, but then your ash drawer is out and you're making a mess. And I was like, yeah, I ain't doing all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But well,
but Leah said something about, he probably said something a while back about she thought he took a part off of that stove.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, if it was the igniter,
that would explain things.
That would be the reason why it doesn't light. Yeah. I don't know what part he removed. I wasn't paying attention at the time because I was going in and out of the doctor's offices and stuff, and I don't care.
Right.
I wasn't when I was here, I wasn't here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know. I don't remember him saying he took a part off of it, but she does. And I'm like, okay, well, that's probably what it was. And I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. But I got Monday, I got 2 40-amp breakers, double poles, be here Monday. And then the only thing I got left is to get the wire. But
hold on to your butt for the wire.
It's over $10 a foot. I know that. But I'm going to mount it right above the breaker panel. And so right. I'm not going to have to go
a couple 6 feet.
Well, if I get a 10-foot length of it, I can put that in and actually run a place where I can actually plug in a bigger stick welder.
Yep. That's actually what I did, because my big stick welder is a 220 welder.
Yep.
And it uses a weird 220 plug. It looks like a regular 110 outlet plug. It's got the 2 sticks and then the ground on it.
Right.
But it's actually a 220 and it's huge. So what I did is I wired the outlet to the breaker panel with a long cord.
Right.
Enough cord so that cord can go all the way out into my driveway.
Right.
So if I ever got my big stick welder back, I could just park it in the driveway out there and put a building over top of it, basically, because I don't have room in my garage for it.
Right.
And I could use that. So when I'm not using the welder and I need the heater, I can just unplug that, coil it back up, put the heater above the breaker panel, and just plug the extension cord together with it. And now I've got the power for that. But my last electric bill was $697 for no reason at all. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I am not. I mean, I made that one cross. Come on, did it cost me $600 in electric to make that cross?
Yeah.
Seriously. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing anything right now that draws extra power.
Right.
Nothing.
Well, last year, and I was running everything that I run now, nothing more, and like This time last year, my electric bill was $1,200 a month, and right at the spring of this year, right whenever I didn't need the heat anymore, or right there at the end, that wind in the background, that's 2 stories up, and I heard a loud boom, and a big fireball went up the side of the house, and power flicked, and of course that's where the heat pump is and everything, got right below that window. And then a few seconds later, the power came back on. It came back on again, and a few seconds later, it did it again, and it flipped the breaker out. So I called the heat and air guy. He come looked at it. He said, "I can't find anything wrong with that." But ever since that, my electric bill has never went over $200 a month.
Our electric bill last winter was $1,000 a month every month, but we were running 2 really good sized electric heaters inside of our seed house,
right?
Because that's a separate building,
right?
It's well insulated, but it was separate. And then all summer long, we were running an air conditioner in there, and I was like, I am not doing that again. So when spring hit this year, I reached out to a company and I said, "Look, I want you guys to come in. I want a mini split on this building." $7,000 later,
holy crap!
I got a mini split put on.
Yeah.
And everybody I talked to after that said, "I could have done that for $300."
Yeah.
I could have done it for $1,500 with using that one Mr. Cool or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they're simple to put in. Anybody can. They're easy to put in. All you got is like a little 3 to 4 inch hole you got to drill through your wall. And
yeah, well, the one that I have had to be put in by professionals because they had a lot like what Mikey does over there, Mike Smith.
Yeah.
You got to have the meters and you got to have the vacuum pump and you got to have all this and that for the gauges and whatnot. And I was like, all right, that's understandable. Well, these guys were at my house for 10 hours, 2 guys working.
Well, that must
to get it set up and get it working.
It must be a really big unit then, because regular residential ones, they just have the lines.
It's much bigger than what it needs to be.
Yeah, because the lines come pre-charged. All you got to do is hook them up. It's like so they're a regular house owner can do it. So.
Well, this is much bigger than it needs to be for the size of the building.
Yeah.
And it does have other outlets on it where you could buy like from Mr. Cool.
You can buy extra heads, interior heads for it.
Get the extra heads that are already pre-charged lines.
Right.
And put it somewhere else. So I'm kind of leaning towards that because it's not too far off my back patio, which is right now heated with electric heat.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of leaning towards maybe doing that because there's already a ditch that the electric follows through anyway. It'd be like a 25-foot coolant line. And I'm like, yeah, that wouldn't be so bad. And then, of course, you got the control line going back. But again, that's like a 25-foot line.
Right.
So I'm kind of leaning towards maybe doing that because I already got $7,000 invested in the main unit. And it's an expensive unit. It's Mitsubishi, which is top rated,
Yeah.
So I'm kind of leaning towards maybe buying a Mr. Cool interior unit for the back room.
Right.
And then running it off that Mitsubishi head.
Right.
Because they do come pre-charged.
Right. Well, that the house I had in Bluefield, which is a pretty big size house, we could have got away with putting, I think it was 3 units on the entire house, outside units, but would have a interior unit in each room of the entire house. So.
Yeah, I looked at doing it for our house for one on the back porch, one in our living room. We got a spare bedroom behind the living room that's in an unheated space, so it wouldn't be able to work in that very well because it's uninsulated under the floors.
Right.
And it's like a crawl space where they can't really get in there because all I got's a couple small windows.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, I don't know, 6 by 12 inch windows that they would be able to put something through there, but it's
right.
I don't know, 15 in or 15 feet deep. and they can't put that on a wand and go in and spray the openings underneath that way.
Yeah.
They kind of have to. They kind of have to have a lot closer access for it. And there's only 2 of those out there for 2 different rooms.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Yeah, we aren't gonna be able to do that." And I was like, "All right, well, can you go in and with a wand and like spray the stone wall around the outside of it?"
Right.
And they said, "Oh yeah, we could do that." I says, "Well, what about spraying? What about spraying the ground?" And they laughed at me.
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, I'm serious. What about putting like 6 inches of insulation, sprayed in insulation right directly on the ground, and then spray the walls around to hold it down?"
Right.
And they said, "Yeah, we could do that, but why would you want to?" And I says, "Well, it eliminates moisture, so these windows don't need to be open, and it closes off the outside walls, so it creates an insulated capsule. Yeah. It just doesn't have any heat source going into it, but it would no longer need to be ventilated either."
Right.
And they were like, "Yeah, you could do it, but that's like $17,000.
Yeah. Well, there's one reason I'm kind of glad I got out of that situation. There's a couple of reasons. One, to get it rid of the toxic environment. Then the other, that house was the dining room was bigger than my main room up front because it was 20 foot wide and probably about 40 foot long, I think was the dimensions. So we was going to put a mini split on each side of it. And I was wondering why it took so much to heat that one room. I knew the front of the house, reason why, because it was not insulated, because it's built in the 20s.
Right.
Whenever they insulated the walls, and then when they put the siding on the outside, the only thing there is the vinyl siding and insulation.
Okay.
There's no plywood, vapor barrier, or anything. It's
right.
You can take your fist. So actually, you had sheetrock, insulation, and vinyl siding. You could take your fist and punch it right through the entire wall.
Wow.
So well.
I mean, mine's a 1900 house, and my issue is bigly with my dining room is over a crawl space. There's a big open hole in the basement where I can look in there and I can see it,
Yeah.
But it's not insulated at the floor.
Right.
It is insulated on the walls down to the stone foundation, but it's not insulated below the stone foundation at all. And then when you go beyond that, it goes into part of my bedroom.
Right.
Like where the bed sits, half of my bed sits over an uninsulated basement area.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, bring out the electric blanket.
Yeah.
Got to keep my head warm.
Yeah. Well, the rest of the house the entire house was all electric baseboard. But the front of the house, there's 3 bedrooms, the old bathroom, living room, original dining room, and half the kitchen was still the old knob and tube rat's nest wiring.
Right.
And whoever went and rewired it, they would just show up and they would cut the wires, add a wire, twist 3 wires together, and black tape it, not even use wire nuts on it. And it was a nightmare. If you walk across the floor in the upstairs bedroom, the lights downstairs and everything flickered.
I'm gonna try to move my camera a little bit to give you an idea. It may show, it may not. And okay. I'm gonna point it towards the light switch. Oh, yeah, those are stuff falling off my desk. All right, you see that light switch right there?
Yeah.
All right. Can you see that white line that goes under it?
I think barely. Yeah. Yes. Goes down at an angle.
All right. And then there's another white line that goes above it.
Yeah.
What they did when they rewired my house, because there's lath behind that sheetrock.
Right.
They cut the sheetrock. They put the lines in up to the lath, stapled it to the lath, and then mudded over top of it.
Yeah. That sounds like what they would do.
That whole switch is free floating in the wall.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, are you serious?
Yeah.
It's like, when I came in here and I was like, okay, the whole house has been replumbed, it's been rewired. Well, yeah, it's been replumbed to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've been watching Mike and them guys over there, Drifting Dreamers 5.
Yep.
But I bought him that Ryobi.
He said you did.
Because I had to buy one for myself. And I'll be honest with you, I have done so much repiping in this house that I would never have done it without it.
Well, I love them. I got the hydraulic hand pump one.
Yeah.
That would be so much easier. It's like pull a trigger and
well, I have the hand cramp ones, but the problem is if you're in a tight area, like under a sink, you aren't going to use those.
No, and it takes 3 hands to use it.
Yeah. And so I went out and I bought the Ryobi battery ones for me because I had so much piping I had to do. And then when he was talking about what he was getting ready to do, I was like, Mike, no, hold on.
Right.
I paid $250 for that with the battery, the charger, and everything. When I bought mine, all I bought was just the bare tool for like $70.
Right.
But I was like, I don't care what the cost is, Mike. You need this tool. And he was like, dude.
Yeah. Oh, Mike couldn't talk better about that thing. That was slick. But
I tried getting Mama V to buy one.
Yeah.
And Mama V came out and she says, I am rich. I was like, it's Ryobi. You don't have to be rich.
Right.
And she's like, yeah, but I don't have that much more to do either now. If you would have told me that when I started the house, I might have considered it. But now I don't have that much more to do.
Right. But see, what my ex didn't realize, where I was remodeling the bedroom, the bathroom, and the laundry room and everything, it was the old horsehair walls with the slats and everything. And by code, once you go into that, if you take it, you have by code replace all the wiring in them rooms. And whoever wired it not safe at all. But it was just to the point where everything was off, and I was reframing things in. It had to cost her a fortune to get all that rewired, because once you cut into it has to be, because I was doing it by myself. Nobody knew it. I was doing it except me. And it would have been done to code, but
yeah, you know that silver insulation they used to use.
Yeah.
When they rewired this house, they cut out all the old wires, but they left the wires in place, still stapled to the beams and everything in my basement, not connected anymore. But they left it, and then they ran the new lines around it. And I'm like looking at it going, why?
Right.
I actually have an outlet at the bottom of my stairs. There's one at the top of the stairs, and there's a 3-way switch at the bottom of my stairs.
Yep.
We had to wire that because they didn't do it when they rewired the house. So we had to do it.
Yeah.
And I told my buddy that was doing the electrical with me, I says, I'm running an extra fucking string wire down through here. And he's like, why? I says, because if we ever decide we need to pull another wire, we can use this to go from the attic all the way down. I've got junction boxes in my attic that are like for the upper lights and stuff, except for this one. This one's actually run off of that cut into the sheetrock switch.
Right. Yeah,
but my other rooms are all upstairs, so there's junction boxes upstairs for them and stuff.
Yeah.
And I ran that string and that wire all the way to the attic and connected it to a junction box. And I was like, he's like, why are you doing that? And I said, because if we ever need run another wire from this area for the hallway downstairs or whatever, we can take the power from the attic. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to do that. And he's like, that's dumb. And I was like, no, it's not. And if we pull another wire, we're pulling another string.
Well, see, that's why I always use, rather than 12-2, which is standard, I always use 14-2 wire. That way it'll carry enough amps to do to add on from that wire.
Yeah, for lights.
Right, yeah. And
for lights.
What she didn't know either, since I had all that tore out, she's going to have to be inspected, which means she's going to have to hire licensed contractors to come in and do all that work. And since that was a 2-story house, the way they built it back then, the studs go from the floor joist all the way to the ceiling rafters, which is totally illegal now because there's no fire break in between. The fire gets in at the bottom, it goes all the way straight to the top. So all the interior walls of that house and the exterior walls all going to be reframed too. It's going to cost. It'll cost more to fix that than what I paid for that house.
Well, when I had first looked at this property before we bought it, but even before the property, I was like, all right, I'm seeing something that's going to cost you $1,000, and the cost of me buying the property already right off the top. And they're like, what's that?
Right.
The power going from the house to the garage. That wire ran off of an adapter pole that comes off of the house for the center head.
Right.
Right straight out to the center of the garage and right down through a metal roof.
Mm-hmm.
They poked a hole in the roof and ran the wire right through the metal hole.
Yeah.
I was like, for me to bring an electrician out to move that wire out of that roof, put it on a pole the way it's supposed to be, and run a new wire from that end of the box is going to be $1,000. So
yeah.
I'm going to give you $1,000 off the price of the house right here, right now, just looking at this.
Right.
When the home inspection guy came in, he looked at it and he says, $2,500.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and I was like, Derek was my home inspection guy. I said, Derek, I want you to come back in a week. And he's like, why? I says, I want you to reinspect the whole property. You pointed out an awful lot of stuff to him. You're kicking the price down a lot.
Right.
We started at 95,000. We ended up buying it for 78.
Yeah. I think, I paid
because there were things they just couldn't take care of. They were like, yeah, no, we can't do that.
Yeah. Well, I think I paid between 76 and 78 for that house over there. But you froze up there, bro.
I got a set of stairs coming off the back of my back porch over here that's going to eventually be closed in and be my new office. So I'm not sitting in this kitchen area.
Right.
It used to be a kitchen.
Yeah.
And those stairs going down had absolutely no balusters going down. Right. You had a handrail and you had a stair. And when you went down, the stairs went like this.
Right.
They're not attached to the ground. They're not attached to the house. They're just free float until they get to the bottom.
Well, that's how the entire.
My inspector would not even walk down those stairs. He looked at them stairs. He says, I'm not even going to walk down them.
Yeah. Well, the entire back deck was the same way, and it was longer, so it was probably 50 feet by, I'm guessing, probably between 18 and 20 feet was the back deck, and it wasn't bolted to the house. It was just sitting right on the ground. The inspector passed it. They had one of the orange extension cords coming out of the soffit and running out to the garage, and was powering the garage. And all the insulation done rotted off and stuff. And the actual power coming in to the weatherhead, you could actually, I could reach up and grab hold of the power line coming into the weatherhead. And I had a friend of mine, he come in and I let him do that because I had him put a new weatherhead in, upgraded the panel box, and then run a new wire out to the garage and put a panel box out there. And he charged me $3,000 to do all that. And they came in and it was done within 4 hours because he had his whole crew do it.
All right. Well, Troy, we are well past an hour.
Oh, okay.
And it's just the two of us. So I want to say, let's call this one a night.
Sounds good.
And next Saturday night, we can do it again.
Okay. Sounds good.
And by then, we'll see if Greg's feeling better, and maybe we can get Peter or I don't know, that last guy that we had.
Maybe we could actually sweet talk Lauren and Joel to come in.
Yes, that would be really cool. Or Melva and Donnie.
Yeah.
I would like to have them join us, or maybe even Arlene if she would like to join us.
Oh, that would be sweet. But I'll see y'all later. Good night, everyone. Love all y'all.
If you enjoyed the time, please do us a favor. Give a like, a thumbs up, and make a comment. And other than that, everybody have a great night.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you later. Give me a call,
We'll catch
David.
you next Saturday.
All right.
Good night.